And here we go, live to talk about The Walking Dead, Season 11, Episode 19. This episode's called Variant. I'm Justin, that handsome devil right over there. Matty Dubs, sitting in his new crib, which I imagine is a lot more put together than the last time I was there.
It's actually worse. We just went to the dump and just took more stuff.
We just went and bought more stuff and set it around.
We just thought, like, there's just not enough chaos and disorganization. We just got to keep it going. So we went to the dump, and you know how those containers are always just full of crap. So we got more furniture and whatnot.
Oh, very nice. Well, yeah. I look like fresh hell because I am back from vacation. Literally just got back like 2 hours ago, just in time to watch the episode. So just bear with me. Before we start, let me just give a quick shout out to moviepalette.com. They support the channel. You should definitely consider going to moviepalette.com, buying a piece of art from your favorite movie, and then using the code podcast15 to get 15% off. It supports the channel. It supports Movie Palette, and you get a sweet, nice piece of your favorite movie artwork to put up in your man cave, living room, or wherever you want to set it. Matt, so starting out, what did you think of the episode?
It was good.
I think the last three have been
they've been just real bangers.
Like, I find myself once again genuinely excited for The Walking Dead on Sunday nights.
I really want to know how our snub-nosed sniper is going to get out of this situation he's in right now.
I know it. Lance is. Are him and Pamela, like, are they shacking up? Because what was, like, was he like sniffing her hand?
Damn, dog.
Speaking of which, in the comments section, we have Lance Hornsby.
Oh, Lance. I hope you're doing well.
So
you had me worried this episode.
I was wondering, does Pamela have Lance in her pants? Like, what was the deal with the whole hand sniffing thing? I mean, it's kind of weird.
Has some underlying issues we need to address.
What a terrible way to be punished. So he's just got to sit in a room and feed her dead son.
Yeah.
Like, man. So they've already got people in the comment section here. Let's see. Was the variant walker in a mask? No, that was just a regular walker. It's interesting because
it turns out it was a flesh-muscled man this whole time.
Well, at the end of The World Beyond, we heard about these variant walkers that were stronger, faster, more aggressive, yada yada yada, and now I guess they're playing with that, which I think is great. It's a great way to shake it up. This episode, the scenes with Aaron and Jerry and Lydia and Elijah. I keep wanting to call him Ezekiel.
Did you see his mask hanging off the wagon too?
Yeah, he's like, I'm done with the mask.
that part is behind me.
But like, yeah, number one, can we just talk about how badass Jerry? Oh, I shouldn't be cursing, should I? How awesome Jerry was with that sword.
That was pretty cool. They did some neat cinematography with that.
I mean, he was just like slicing and dicing those zombies, man. That was pretty awesome. But it was a very eerie scene, man. Like when the door started turning. I will say that this back half of the end here, I've loved all the callbacks they've been doing.
Yes, with Abraham, this one.
Yeah, Abraham, and then also the doorknob turning, very reminiscent of like that first episode with Rick and Morgan. Where Morgan's wife is turning the doorknob or whatnot. And I know I watched a behind the scenes thing where they were saying that, like, the main reason it's like that is because Frank Darabont did season 1. And then they switched showrunners after season 1 and he wasn't involved anymore. So they just basically were like, he wanted the zombies to be not just dumb, easy to kill. He wanted them to be a little more intelligent, a little more aggressive,
more complex,
a little more resourceful, just a whole lot more of a challenge. And then, once the new showrunners took over, they were like, no, only dumb zombies. But now they've actually got a way to turn that into something story-wise. So pretty interesting. Liquor Beaver says, I like that they thought it was a whisperer. I don't like that they're introducing them with just a few episodes left. I think though, you're right. I agree 100%. I thought the same thing, but I think that they're going to play a big part in some of these spinoff shows because they keep advertising. Matt, I know you don't see advertisement because you've got AMC Premiere.
Yeah.
That rich man's AMC, but in the previews, they keep teasing the Walking Dead universe, like Negan's show and Rick Grimes and Carol and all of that. So I think they're going to get in more into it with that.
Getting lean with Eugene's new spinoff coming.
Get lean with Eugene.
It's a fitness program.
Well, we already saw like Rosita's back. What was that? Was that season 6? Season 5? The season where they were Alexandria and Rosita was doing like machete aerobics.
Yeah.
Outside, teaching them how to like fight zombies. So now Eugene's taking that to a whole new level.
How did Ezekiel seem handling his finally he has his paradise and now it's just all in chaos? How has he been handling that?
Oh. Speaking of Eugene, I feel like Eugene might die. I feel like Eugene might die. I didn't think he would, and maybe he won't, but I feel like Eugene might die. I feel like they might be setting up for Eugene to die here. Maybe not necessarily through like execution and trial, but you know, like Pamela might kill him. I don't know.
I'm gonna give him a 20% chance. 20% chance of getting killed.
Okay, so you think he's pretty?
I think
safe.
he's pretty safe. Yeah, but there's at least 1 in 4. I'd say he's got a chance.
I just get tired of these, like, I want to give you something and let me go and goodbyes. And then like they live. And it's like, so the whole thing we had earlier, you know,
just disregard that.
Can I have that bolo back?
Yeah, can I have that back? His little bolo tie.
Maddie Williams said, I got flashbacks of the farm when Aaron and them were fighting and Jerry's scene was an homage to the Jesus fight death scene. Yeah, it definitely was reminiscent of Jesus.
That was a pretty badass scene.
Dude, Lance and Pamela felt like Homelander and Madeline.
Hey, that's a good parallel.
It did. Just the way he's kind of like sniffing and just like, oh.
But Lance Hornsby ain't no Anthony Starr, though. That dude's a brilliant actor for a psychotic role.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's fantastic. He really should be playing Albert Wesker if somebody would actually make a decent Resident Evil movie. And on top of that, talking about Jerry being such a bamf with the sword and everything, he also did it all on like one leg.
Why would they try to bring that wagon through like unpaid like through the woods? Like that's not what they're meant. Like they're not rated for going through there. Like no wonder why he got his leg effed up.
Well, they don't have the luxury of just going to Tractor Supply and getting an off-road trailer.
Well, that's on them.
This is a situation you put yourself in. Oh, and
then
American
what
says,
did you think of this too? Oh, tell the folks why I shouldn't be cursing.
Because
it's very immoral. We are changed. We are saved men.
There's that, and then there's the fact that we're now like affiliates. So like we, can like monetize videos and do super chat, which I don't know if is available now. If you can see that, I can't see what you're seeing. So there may be a super chat button. Maybe there's not. I'm still learning this.
We'll do things on request for money as well.
Like Matt will strip
after
the show.
And I don't even need to get paid to do that.
And I'll beatbox while he does. But and thank God for the Appalachian American, because I have no clue how any of this YouTube monetization, any of that stuff works, and he's helping me out. So that's why I'm trying not to curse quite as much. I mean, of course, then we'll still like get back to Patreon and have cursing casts and all of that. But still trying to figure this thing out. Michael Myers says, "Bro, where did that Lydia and Elijah romance come from?" I feel like they just
fabricated. Yeah,
they just felt like they had to have some love story.
She's a girl and he's a boy. It just works.
I feel like Elijah has no other point in the show. I mean, like, I hate to say that, but I mean, it's plenty of other characters I'm sure I could say the same for, but Elijah just feels
completely pointless.
Like pointless. Like what? Why? Like why do
they need to, like, they clearly had, like, his mask was out in the open on that wagon. Like, what? Why? I need my mask.
I only wear the mask to intimidate my foes, like the Reapers, who I got my butt whooped by many, many times. I mean, when he got slung in the air like 20 feet, I mean, like, I don't know how he survived that, but I just feel like Elijah. I feel like when they wrote him, they had much bigger plans for him, and then somehow he just became
Just
another
very fizzled out.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Connor Stansel, who I don't know that I've ever seen in the comments section. Hello, Connor, and welcome. The Walker with the Rock was cool, but I was kind of expecting more. Not gonna lie. Yeah, well, at the end of
they're learning, they're evolving.
Those zombies almost seemed more like rage zombies, so I was kind of expecting that too. But it's so many callbacks, man. Like the doorknob turning was a callback, like to the Morgan's wife trying to open the door. The zombie with the rock was a callback to like episode, what was it? Episode 2, when the zombies outside the department store and Rick and Andrea in there, and the zombies got like the rock and he's beating it up against the glass or whatever. So it's so many callbacks to earlier seasons, and I am really digging those. But how eerie was that though? Like, not only now do you got to worry about zombies trying to eat you, but like they also want to club you in the head with a rock.
Yeah. They just want to come in your house. Like they just want to be welcomed in. That's all they ever wanted. We just wandered in.
The Appalachian American says, I need Princess to have purple hair, by the way. Yes, I do miss Princess's purple hair. It was kind of like her thing.
Very
I do
spunky.
like Princess, though. Do you think Jerry and Bella can make Kingdom 2.0? They definitely alluded to that as they were rolling out of that, which that would be a cool little place to have a community. I mean, it's a straight up castle.
Yeah.
Watch like King Ezekiel like come to visit and be like, man, what? You got an actual castle?
Yeah.
I had a school or whatever it was. It was like, my place sucked. We couldn't even get
like
our
rec center.
You got an actual castle. But yeah, I would love to see that happen. Louisiana McPatriot. Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen you in the comments section. Hello and welcome. Yes, it looks like they're setting Eugene up to be the martyr that saves the group, since he's the one that originally got them into this mess, given his radio contact with Steph. I'm telling you, I think he's going to die. I think it's going to happen. I think Jerry.
I believe in Eugene.
So, Appalachian American says, I think Jerry is going to get the Dwight death. Jerry? Why Jerry? No. Why Jerry?
He's too lovable.
I need to know more about this, because I definitely think somebody's going to get it, but I almost think I could see Max doing that to Eugene before I could see, Jerry getting that done to them. Please explain. Lance Hornsby says it was a really cool twist that was revealed in this episode too, that out of Lance and Pamela is the crazier one of the two. Yeah, she's definitely...
They're both crazy, but yeah, in terms of like just truly evilly crazy, I think Pam takes the cake.
Yeah,
they're both some crazy mofos.
They're definitely deviating quite a bit from the comics, both in the fact that Sebastian got murdered and with Pamela being somewhat psychotic. In the comics, at least if I'm not forgetting anything, in the comics, Pamela was her biggest flaw was just being kind of a self-serving politician, but eventually she kind of came around. I think the show's deviating quite a bit here, which is good, actually. Let's see where it could go. Oh, a message from the Appalachian American. Everyone. Podcast studio. But a beach house would be nice. But
that's where the studio's going to be, is at the beach house.
Bruh, Pope would have beaten that variant with 1 foot.
Oh, yeah.
But he wouldn't have ran away, that's for sure. Let's see. It might be just me, but I don't like Aaron B. bringing up Eric. Wish he'd mentioned a hidden relationship with Jesus instead of opening up. Oh, yeah, that would have been cool. I mean, I didn't mind it, because again, it feels like as we're getting here to the end, we're having a lot of callbacks, like just referencing and, things that happened before, which I'm digging. So him bringing up Eric just kind of took me back to like, what was it? Was it season 8 where Eric died when they were fighting Negan's guys?
Yeah.
Let's see. Show Mercer is better than comic Mercer. Yeah, Show Mercer looks like a beast, man. He's just got that look in his eye. Like he could probably tear a man in half.
Just a mahogany monster. He'd wreck me.
You look like you were look like you enjoyed that statement a little bit there. He could wreck me.
Just to ravish me, Mercer, with that butt armor. Where you must wear the butt armor and nothing else.
Have your way with me.
But the butt armor stays on.
I really feel like the two people-centric spinoffs are going to have the season 2 Walking Dead feel again. Way more grounded compared to this season. We can actually keep up with people. Stay fresh, people. True that. Have you seen Halloween Ends? I have not, but I will. Mm-hmm. Honey Buster says if Eugene dies, we riot. I don't know if I'd be ready to riot over Eugene dying, but I would be sad. Let's see. Maddie Williams, Rosita's interrogation was funny. We found out she is currently unemployed.
Oh, man. Does that mean I'm fired?
Speaking of show Mercer being better than comic Mercer, I agree with Liquor Beaver on this, too. The fact that Lance is light years ahead of comic Lance. Absolutely. For a moment there, it looked like the writers would sacrifice Jerry. I'm glad they didn't go that route. I thought Jerry was going to die there for like a few seconds. I mean, when that zombie was creeping up behind him, I was like, oh God, no, he's hurt. And also remember the last time somebody got a badass, a kick butt sword fighting scene, they died. That was Jesus. So I was like, no, he was too good with the sword. Let's see. I think Yumiko is going to get the Dwight death. So let me explain that for Matt. And if you don't want comic spoilers, I hate to lose you, but you may want to tune out there for just a little bit because I am going to spoil the comics for a little bit.
Yeah, we're talking Dwight, the one that was part of the Saviors, wasn't it?
Yeah, so in the comics, he had a pretty traumatizing death because basically he saw the Commonwealth for what it was. It was kind of like he was suffering PTSD from his time with Negan, and all he saw was like those in charge taking advantage of, those under him, and he kind of flipped out and he pulls a gun on Pamela, and like Rick really wants this to work for his people. So Rick actually kills Dwight in front of Pamela, because it's almost like he's putting down a rabid dog. He doesn't want to. At this point in the comics, Dwight and Rick have become friends. Like Dwight helps them. He's a good guy. And so it was actually pretty heartbreaking when it happened in the comics. And people have been wondering, for the last season or two, like who's going to get that death? Who's going to get shot by a friend? It'd be honestly, being that we don't have, Dwight in the show anymore, it would almost be like Rick shooting Daryl, which I don't think they were that close in the comics.
Maybe Rick comes back and shoots Daryl.
Where'd you come from, Rick? I've been missing you. You come back and now you shoot me. I love you, Rick. I love you too, Dare Bear.
This is why this hurts me more than it hurts you. That hurts a lot, Rick.
I doubt it, Rick. I got a bullet in my head.
It really hurts a lot, Rick.
Oh, let's see. As someone who spends $20 a week on the Mega Millions, hearing Sebastian say Pamela rigs the Commonwealth lottery really grinds my gears.
Yeah, we had like these types of lottery things are completely rigged. Like we like with this, when we had the county fair the other week, like there was like if you put a comment on the little work Facebook page, then like you'd be entered in to win a chance to win some tickets to the county fair. Can you guess who won all the all the tickets? Pretty much that just the person that just wanted to handpick their favorites.
That's the way a lot of contests go, brother. A lot of contests. Lance Hornsby's talking in the third person again. Lance Hornsby is such a great villain. He could have killed Pope from 1,000 yards away with the snub nose.
And that's just with the iron sights. Like, don't even give him the snub nose sniper scope. Oh, speaking of which, do you saw that picture that I sent you, Jess, of that little tiny revolver with the scope on it? I got to pull this up because
Lance doesn't even need the scope.
He doesn't. Oh God, where was it? Oh yeah, so this is the pistol that Lance, like this is like his main weapon here.
With this, Lance would be unstoppable. I see nothing but a bright heavenly light.
I know it is so hard to get these right on here. So you can rotate it.
There you go. That's with that, Lance Hornsby would be unstoppable.
The snub nose sniper.
He's taking out people in other countries. Let's see here. Where did we leave off? Man, we got a comment section lighting up tonight. This is awesome. Let's see. Let's go back to where were we? Jerry with the one leg.
It's peg leg Jerry. What's he gonna do?
Gonna hop right over and slice you.
He's gonna hop right over and slice you.
All right, so Appalachian American says, so they're setting Jerry up for a future King Jerry, also traveling with Aaron, who is like the comic stand-in for Rick. Could be a stretch, but anytime they set up a future, they die soon. That is true, and I'm very disappointed because, number one, I like Aaron. I've said for a long time on this podcast, I really like Ross Marquand, and I like the character of Aaron. I think that he's definitely had his moments, but I think he's underutilized, and I think he could be such a bigger player than he has been. But I was really, really kind of excited because he almost looks like comic Rick, slightly younger at this point in the comics. Rick had gotten a little more. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to gauge comic age, but I thought he was going to be a stand-in for Rick. I thought they were going to, take all of Rick's parts that he would have had in the comics and given them to Aaron. And then they really hadn't done that as much as I thought they would have. Also, the Appalachian American says, I can't stand Eugene. So if he goes, I'd be okay with that. I mean, if he goes, I'm not going to lose my mind, but I would be sad to see him go. I do like Eugene. Bro, the main group should mention previous antagonists, like use their techniques to overcome new enemies. All right, guys, cut off them Walker faces and somebody get me a bat wrapped in barbed wire and an eye patch. Also, it's
gonna be a good day, Rick.
I'm gonna shave my head. And it's like, man, he's like Shane had a baby with the governor and Negan and Alpha. As he walks by something, he's like claimed. Like, man.
Here's a little prick named Lance who thought he knew shit but didn't know shit.
Language.
We're 23 minutes in.
That's an unwritten rule, Matthew.
Oh, well, I wasn't told it was unwritten.
It's unwritten. Let's see. Off topic. What do you think about Morgan seeing dead people in masks in season 3? Could it have been Alpha near Georgia in the South? I thought about that, but I feel like, I mean, they could go back and retcon that, but I feel like that was just Morgan kind of unintentionally being poetic. Like he saw his wife, but it wasn't. It was, basically just someone wearing his wife's face in a sense. It's kind of what I got from that. But Roman Calhoun, Lance's agent, was killed off this episode. Huh? I'm not sure about that one. I feel old. I was listening to y'all during season.
Oh, that guy that had the shot in his head, I think. The one they tossed him in the... Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He was fed to Sebastian.
I forgot about him. Ain't that the one? Yeah, okay. I know who you're talking about. All right. Honeybuster says, I feel old. I was listening to y'all during season 7 in high school. Now I'm getting my own apartment next week, and I'm working on oil rigs right now. That's dope from high school. We've seen you. We're like your proud daddies.
Yes. We are your proud, yeah.
And we are very proud of you. Let's see.
I'm the stepdaddy, though. I'm the new daddy in Justin's life.
Look.
I didn't raise you, but I think you as one of my own, Honeybuster.
Had a dream where Rick came during the Commonwealth Walker riot and protected Judith. That would have been awesome. I love how in the Lance scene, Pamela accuses Lance of killing Sebastian by releasing walkers, and Lance just says, okay, yes, I did, but I don't think he, I don't know, man. I don't know where they're going with the whole Lance thing. I feel like they might just completely deviate from the comics and have Lance kill off Pamela and like Lance become the main big final bad.
I kind of wish that with all these spin-off comings, like one of them would actually be like either like a sitcom or a rom-com. Like we need more laugh tracks in these shows.
I think somebody's done that on YouTube, like taking The Walking Dead and put laugh tracks on it.
Man, have they? I've seen like laugh tracks like added or omitted from shows. Let's see, Walking Dead. Oh, I think there was one because I think you showed me to. Like, we need this.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Louisiana McPatrick's got a great point here. I get the impression that the smaller the survivor group, the more grounded the show feels as a whole. The bigger the settlement equals, the more backstabbing political games, which is sadly humanity in general.
Yeah.
You get you a small little group. That's why people say keep your circle small, and everybody helps everybody, trust everybody. But the more that grows, the more backstabbing BS you get into. So
one day I will take the throne that Justin currently sits on.
Let's see.
I am just biding my time.
Honeybuster says, seeing Louisiana Patriot in here makes me think your whole fan base is Louisiana people, since I'm one of them. So you're from Louisiana too. Guess what? I was born in
Justin was born there.
So, it's like a homecoming. Lance Hornsby, I'm loving these episodes, but the fact that we still don't know what happened to Oceanside is a joke. Can you imagine if they held off on the Negan Kill 3? Wait a minute. If they held off on the Negan Kill 3 episodes into season 7? Yeah, and some people were worried they were going to do that, but thank goodness they didn't. Yeah, Oceanside, though, it's one of those communities I just really never cared about. The only reason I halfway care about it now is that's supposed to be where Luke is, and I got a feeling we're not going to see him anymore, but I would love to see Luke at least. It would be unceremonious, but instead of never mentioning him again, I don't know, say he got like dysentery and died off screen or something. So those of us that like Luke can get some closure.
He died from dysentery cruise and he whooped his ass booty.
There you go. We almost got a Eugene versus Daryl fight. Eugene's a big guy, but he would have fallen like a tree with one punch. Yeah, that was hilarious. I like that he squared up with him.
Yeah.
It was almost like the "Oh brother, where art thou?" What if Daryl would have been like, "Come on, Eugene, you can't swear at me like that." Let's see. I think even Sebastian could beat the bleep out of Pope. Oh man, Matt, they're talking trash about your boy.
Yeah, I mean he still has my love no matter what. It's unconditional. Honey, he's not wrong, but Pope still has my love and support. I'm proud of him no matter what.
You're like a good stepdaddy.
I'm a very good stepdad. Like Honeybuster, like I will be the best stepdad you've ever had.
Lance is on my top 10 characters overall, has such small screen time, but still he makes an impact. Yes, Honeybuster, he really does. I like Lance. I think he's a great villain. I'd honestly love to see him be like, I don't not like Pamela, but I'm kind of indifferent at this point. I wouldn't mind just seeing Lance kill her and take over as like the big bad.
I worry that we won't have Lance for much longer.
Let's see. Matty Williams, why are they taking so long for us to know about Oceanside? Apparently a lot of folks really want to know about Oceanside.
They're really dragging that out on this one.
Let's see. Really like the idea of them coming back to that place and someone from our group settling there to make Jerry's idea of the Kingdom 2.0 into a reality. Even on a small scale, it's the end of the show. So, it's a good point. I think it would be awesome if they came back. King Jerry. And then Ezekiel, comes there and becomes, his right-hand man.
I finally have it took me months, but I finally have a life where I can relax and be happy. Then 5 minutes later, it devolves into chaos again. Why does this keep happening?
The smart walkers start climbing all the walls. Why does this keep happening to me, Jerry?
Why did no one tell me this was a thing?
For those long-time listeners of our podcast, too bad it wasn't a barn that Jerry was going to turn into the Kingdom 2.0. No, that would have been something. Let's see.
It would have been meant to be.
Didn't the Whisperers migrate south in the winter? Maybe Morgan spotted them. Now, I might be wrong on this, but I feel like if Morgan did spot Whisperers, which he might have, it wouldn't have been Alpha in them, though. I really don't feel like by the time, because I mean, we went so far into the future before we met Alpha in that group, and then we've seen some of her past, and we've seen she survived for a while during the zombie apocalypse before she ever became a Whisperer. So I feel like even if he did see them, it probably wasn't Alpha. It could have been the old leader or some other leader, which I mean, that was not that long into the apocalypse. So that would mean they started doing that stuff pretty quick, which very well they could have. And yes, I'm glad you brought this up. This is why I love when people comment a lot, because it helps us keep it. So for me, it's so hard this late at night, especially after coming back from vacation, to like go through, unless I take notes, to go through and remember everything about the episode. So I'm glad y'all are pointing things out. What about Rosita at the end, man? We didn't even mention Rosita got the bag on her head, but she was kicking some butt before she went, man. Girl can throw down. Starting to think Rosita and Michonne would be a pretty epic battle, because we know Michonne can throw. Who do you think would win that one? Take the sword away, fist to fist.
Michonne.
You think Michonne could still take Rosita?
Yeah.
I think Rosita would give her a run, man. Rosita can throw, and I don't say that lightly. Michonne's like one of my top all-time characters of both the comic and the show, so I don't say that lightly. Let's see. Liquor Beaver says the Whisperers hadn't happened in the comics during season 3. I actually think that scene with Morgan gave Kirkman the idea for the Whisperers. That's true. That's true. At that point, when season 3 was going on in the show, the Whisperers had not happened in the comics, because I have been reading The Walking Dead with the big hardcovers and the trade paperbacks for years, trying to catch up. And then when I finally not long before I started buying them issue by issue is when the Whisperer thing happened. So you're right. Like back in season 3, like the Whisperers weren't even a part of the comics yet. So they weren't, there's no way that the show runners wrote that with the intention of like, oh, he's mentioning Whisperers. So, I mean, of course it could be retcon, but I think that kind of answers it there as far as the writing perspective. They didn't write Morgan's line with him thinking about the Whisperers or seeing the Whisperers, because at the time Kirkman hadn't even created the Whisperers. That's a good point. Liquor Beaver, you're the man. What stood out to y'all in this episode? What felt pointless? Matt, what stood out? What felt pointless to you?
The most pointless part, Elijah's mask. They didn't need to see it. Just stupid.
It's like, I love that it's almost like they're trying to portray it like Batman hanging up his mask, except for it's this very minor character.
Smack dab in the middle on the side of the wagon. Why?
Like we just don't even really care for you. Yep, that's a good.
Yeah, the Lydia, Elijah, like it's like, yeah, she's a girl, he's a boy. It just makes sense. And now kiss me, you fool.
Yep, that's a point. Good point. Now, what stood out to you? Like good.
Probably Pamela and Hornsby.
Pamela and Hornsby.
You must feed my son. That was just weird.
What stood out? What's standing out to me in this episode and a lot of the episodes this season are all the callbacks. I mean, just really kind of bringing things full circle here and really, like, again, just kind of going back and referencing things from the very beginning of the show and throughout the history of the show. So that really stands out to me. But what really stood out to me was Eugene's goodbye to Rosita. To me, it just felt like a genuine goodbye. Like
he'll be fine.
I don't think so. I think
he'll be fine.
I'd be wrong. But I think
I was more worried for Lance, Lance's imminent demise than Eugene's.
Mm-hmm.
Without that snub nose sniper, I think Lance is gonna see an untimely death.
Lance, how do we help you get out of here? Do you have a Derringer? Do you see that guard there? He's about 4,000 yards away.
No.
He's got that little bitty gun. Headshot.
Ow. What was that on my neck?
Ow. Just got hit by a huge bug. Mosquitoes keep getting bigger. Honeybuster says, after rewatching season 1 yesterday and hearing we need laugh tracks in the show just killed my whiskey buzz and made me so sad. Coming home from the beach killed my whiskey buzz. Let's see. The smaller groups does take it back to the simple days of seasons 1 through 5. Yes, the glory days. I'm not saying nothing good came after season 5. Yes, there were some. I thought season 6 throughout most of it was awesome. I love season 6, but like it definitely got to the point where there was such a big cast of characters and they just could not pull it off the way Game of Thrones does. Game of Thrones is a humongous cast, but they write it in such a way that you keep up with everybody and everybody feels like they're a main character in some regard, whereas The Walking Dead not really able to pull that off as well. So I definitely agree.
Well, as your unofficial stepdad, I will treat all of you all as you are a main character.
Yep. Do you miss the episodes ending on a song like episode 1 in season 1 or episode 18 Miles Out? Yeah, I like when they bring in music. The Walking Dead's actually brought in some pretty good music in its past. I wish they would come back to doing that. Yep, I like it when they do that. But then again, it's kind of like, I guess it's good they don't do it every episode because then the rare times they do it, it really has an impact. How about a funny Frasier-style sitcom starring Lance where he tries to get laid every episode and he succeeds every time?
I would watch that. Now, this is the spinoff we need. What would it be called? Lance in your pants?
I got Lance in my pants.
Heyo, that's his catchphrase.
Let's see. Daryl be like, you're not that guy. Talking to Eugene when he went to fight him. Daryl's like, man, I could just like right hook this guy and put him out forever, but I'm not gonna do that. Good on Daryl too. Lance is like the governor without all the testosterone. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Lance feels like Saul Goodman of The Walking Dead.
I can kind of see drawing some parallels there. Definitely distinctly different characters.
Yeah. That'd have been a cool team, though. Let's see. Appalachian American says, man, I miss the barn. I still call Jerry. Rawr, dude.
Could you imagine like talking about like Saul Goodman or Breaking Bad, like having like a pragmatic character like Gus Fring in the Walking Dead world?
Oh, Gus Fring would be a great Walking Dead villain. Like he's got his drug empire still going long into the apocalypse. You're going to cook for me, Walt. You and Jesse. Let's see. Robert Kirkman confirmed that Morgan was, Honeybuster says, Robert Kirkman confirmed that Morgan was just going through psychosis, by the way, and he didn't see whispers during that season. But still, I don't mind to think it was some inspiration for Kirkman.
Sounds plausible.
Oh, there we go. Somebody's got my back. Appalachian America says, I would put money on Rosita in a fight. Michonne versus Rosita. Yep. Also, the Appalachian American leaving all kinds of great messages, by the way. I think we should
see if he would have asked me nicely, I would have done it, but he didn't ask nicely.
He meant to, Matt. Can I go on YouTube and super chat myself? I want to see how that works.
Probably could. Just fund the Patreon money I'm giving you into super chatting yourself.
Look, man, even though we hadn't posted on Patreon in a while, and I know we need to give more content and all of that for Patreon, absolutely. But it still helps to support the channel because, man, this equipment is not cheap. Oh, no, I don't see how to super chat myself.
Are you signed in to an account?
I mean, maybe I can't see it on mine. You could look it up and see if you have an option to do it since I'm operating as, I guess, a system administrator or some, it's my channel, but you ought to see if you can pull it up and if it would let you super chat it. And then if it does let you super chat it, Matt, just, super chat it like $300 or $400. Let's just see what happens.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here we are. Show your support.
Oh, is it on so you can see it?
So you can, send an animated image, a super sticker, or send a highlighted message.
Ah. Very interesting.
Holy crap.
What?
So it scales, like it starts up at $20, but it can scale up to $500.
Try that one, Matt. Try the
No.
500. We need to make sure it
Absolutely.
works, Matt. Come on, man. Just try it.
I will test out. I'll test out a wonder. Oh, hey, Liquor Beaver got us.
What?
He did a super chat, Liquor Beaver.
Did he? How did you see that? I didn't see it.
I'm on the YouTube. I have the YouTube
I
page.
can see it right there. That's all. Well, Matt, if he can hook us up, you can do the 500. Come on, man. Let's see. You got that AMC premiere, man. Clearly, you're someone who you've got the paid YouTube, and you've got AMC premiere or plus, whatever it's called. So clearly, you're a man who just has the disposable income. Just go ahead, man. Show off a little bit.
I'll toss you a buck. Just
no, you're guest hosting on this. Please don't give me any more money. I feel like I should be super chatting you for being on the podcast. You'd be like, man, guys, this is great. I podcast with this guy, Justin. And, he only charges me like $10 a podcast to be on there with him.
Wait, what?
Somebody would be like, I don't think that's how that works.
It's only a $10 entry fee. It's great. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Man, yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Liquor Beaver, though. That was awesome. That's cool. I'm still new to all of this, so y'all just bear with me as I learn how this operates. Let's see. And we're back. So, man, y'all are really lighting that comment section up. Honeybuster says, don't you love it when you see a comment that says the exact same thing you're going to say, and you're like, oh, darn. Yep. See it all the time.
Time and time again.
It's funny how these Commonwealth people have no idea how much of a tight-knit bunch of fighters that our survivors are. That's where our group is superior.
Grossly underestimated.
There are savages that aren't pampered. Oh, yeah, well, Alexandria learned that the hard way. Rick and his group came in, which it's funny, though, because, yes, Alexandria was doing everything wrong, but, like, everything was fine until Rick and his friends showed up. We're like, we're going to save you. And then, like, 2/3 of the people in Alexandria died. Well, they might be dead, but at least they're doing things right now. How many of y'all do I got to kill to save you? Just saying, the way Whisperers migrated, they could have been nearby. Imagine how cool it would have been to have Maggie and Daryl run into a Whisperer during the governor's arc. Oh, yeah. It would have been awesome, man. A lot of people remember once the Whisperers hit the comics, and then they had the wolves with the W's on the foreheads, and we are like, oh, man, they're hinting to the Whisperers. And it's like, no, this is just going to be like a very mild version of the Whisperers. This is like a dumb version of the Whisperers, and they don't wear masks. Let's see. Imagine if the post credits for the last episode of this season would advertise the new spinoff. I feel like that would hype up the shows way more than announcing it months before the show is ending. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think it would have been better.
100%. But they gotta build up for that ad revenue, man. They're trying to build up the hype so that people will watch them and they can make ad dollars. I just don't know why I know why. It's to make more money, but you got Daryl. You got Norman Reedus, Lauren Cohen, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Andrew Lincoln, and Denai Guerrero all willing to come back. Okay, that's like 5 of the most beloved characters. I know Maggie kind of goes back and forth. Some people love her, some people hate her, but everybody loves Negan. Everybody loves Michonne. Everybody loves Rick. Daryl, most people love Daryl. Like, you got some of the most popular characters. Just put them all together and make one show, continuing the story with a smaller group and getting back to your roots. But alas, that's not happening. Eugene getting Daryl's manly acknowledgement was everything to me. Who do y'all want to see team up or have screen time together? I don't think we've seen a Negan and Ezekiel. I don't think we've seen Negan and Ezekiel converse before. I'd like to see that even for a minute. Can y'all role play it for us? Matt, who would you rather be, Negan or Ezekiel?
Negan.
All right. So I guess Negan would initiate the conversation. Well, Ezekiel could. Ezekiel could be like, so you're this Negan I've heard so much about.
You're damn right. It's gonna be a good day.
Or shall I call you a tyrant? I may be a king, Sir Negan, but you are a tyrant. I'm going to drag you to the barn and let my pet tiger Jerry have his way with you.
Then he looks at the camera. It's gonna be a good day.
Let's see. I like how it showed that even Lance has standards. He looked genuinely horrified when told to cut this guy up and feed him to Sebastian. Like all the horrible things Lance has done. And he's like, ooh, no, that's yucky.
That's yuckers.
Ooh, I don't want to get that on my suit.
I don't get blood on my fingies.
I tell you, Lance has got a gnarly looking scar right here. You know what I mean? Like when they show him, like his stuff's busted up pretty good. Wish we had more morally ambiguous groups like Rick's group, season 5, to come into the show later on. I agree. What happened to the guy that drugged up Michonne? Where is he? Where is he? That is a good question. Where is that guy?
Don't look at me.
Let us know in the comments. Where's the guy that drug up Michonne? Like, I remember seeing him a little bit. Like, didn't he go to Oceanside or? I don't know. That's bad. I have a podcast about it, and I have no clue. Lance equals a beta male that's angry he doesn't have his soy milk anymore. I will have my soy lattes back if I have to kill every one of these people.
Walter, put your gun away. You're going to bring more walkers.
What do you think was more evil, Beta or the governor? Definitely the governor. Like Beta was just brainwashed and deranged.
Just a muscle man at someone, like just a extension of someone's arm.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, Beta was just an extension of Alpha, essentially, and was only acting in the way that, like, you know. And then, I mean, obviously the governor had mental issues too, but Beta, I think, you know, I don't think Beta was necessarily evil. I think that Beta just
a delegate
to, you know, push the Whisperer agenda, whereas the governor was just a self-serving
piece of
diabolical
poopy.
Oh, cool song shout out there from the Appalachian American. That was the episode with that's the episode with Bob, when they find Bob. Let's see. Lance talking in the third person again. I feel like Lance was probably flipping the coin pre-apocalypse too. And look at Liquor Beaver hooking us up. $1.99. You the man.
I cannot wait to go to the dollar store tomorrow.
You're gonna get 2 items. What if it's like, oh no, there was supposed to be a dot there? What not? No. But that's awesome, dude. Thank you. Let's see. Also, then respect in the community is to not spoil the chat with AMC Plus nonsense is so cool to me. Makes me feel so happy being a part of small communities rather than bigger ones who spoil everything. Also, then respect in this.
No, we try to keep it pure here.
Oh yeah, I mean Matt. Oh yeah, it's been a lot of people. I think we would probably get a larger listening base if we did do it the other way, like watch it a week ahead, because a lot of people are doing that. But at the same time, like I like waiting till Sunday night to sit down and watch it, because that's what I always did with, like, you know, my family and stuff. So I mean, now as the show's ending, I'm watching it the way I began.
Stay true to form.
So absolutely. Rick and the gang shows up. There goes the neighborhood.
Yep. Story as old as time.
What if, like, they execute Eugene, they kick out all of our people, and they're like, all right, now the Commonwealth can get back to business. There is literally nothing that could ruin this. Rick comes walking in with, like, a new group. I'm Rick Grimes. And
like,
and the Commonwealth was no more 2 days later. I'm trying.
Ezekiel, just settle down.
Let's see. Pamela and Sebastian were from a political dynasty family and inherited tons of money. But I feel like it's implied that Lance started poor and worked his way up. I could see. I could
see that.
A gumbo festival, man. I haven't had gumbo in a while. It was somebody recently was telling me they made the best gumbo that I would ever have, and I was like, well, you're gonna have to back that up because I'd love to try it. It's been a while since we've heard a Barn of Pleasures callback. Well, show is ending, so which I mean it's not. We're gonna have plenty to podcast about. We've got 3 spinoff shows. 3 spinoff shows coming back, and I guess I'll jump back on Fear this new season. I got to watch last season. And to be honest, Fear is kind of lost to me, but I'll get back into it. Let's see. I don't want this show to try and tie up loose ends in the spinoffs. I mean, that's fine, but come on. Yeah, I agree. That's what you're supposed to do in the main show. Lance's drip is the best out of anyone in the show. Got that Lance Hornsby drip. Maybe if the Commonwealth had let Ezekiel start his Bar and Pleasures business, the whole place would be a lot less. Yeah, because people would be getting all that kinky stuff. I mean, Lance would be there sniffing everybody.
Some folks need an outlet to get it out, and that's would have been a perfect, perfect means for the citizens.
All right, coming close to wrapping it up here. Do you think if the Whispers attacked Alexandria or Hilltop while they were being in control by Negan, it would have protected his communities? Wait, I'm sorry. It's late. I'm tired.
I even had troubles. Yeah.
Do you think if the Whispers attacked Alexandria or the Hilltop while they were being, basically would Negan have protected his? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, look, if they're producing, it's just like a business, right? I mean, you protect things that you protect
your assets,
the employees that make you money, right? Like if you're working for a company and you're making them tons of money, they're going to protect you, whether that's literally or figuratively. They'll do what they got to make sure that you're still able to produce. So I feel like it's the same way. I don't think that Negan would have done it out of the goodness of his heart. I think that Negan would have absolutely done it in order to protect himself and his investments. Thank you, Lance Hornsby.
Lance, you are officially the president.
That's awesome. I think Lance has a liking to be submissive to women fetish.
I can see that.
Well, there was that show was it Jessica Biel where she snapped and she killed that dude? And it had the guy that was in Independence Day. He was the president. He was also the dad in Casper, the Friendly Ghost. And it was a really cool show. And he was like the detective trying to figure it out. But then there was this whole little side plot about how he was into like really rough whoopee time, like getting his fingers stepped on and beat up. It kind of makes me think of that. Honeybuster says, to be honest, y'all both should do a whole season of Fear podcast all at once. It's just one of those seasons. Not bad, not great, just decent enough to talk about. I might do that. I may binge watch the whole season and then just do like a review. I like that. That's a good point. Let's see. I'll be a number one listener if y'all start a Sopranos podcast until the spinoffs start. Actually, it's funny. So I never watched the Sopranos.
I haven't either.
But in the last year, I've watched the majority of it, and I see the hype. Sopranos is awesome.
I have never watched Sopranos. I know my folks liked it when I was growing up, but it never interested me. But I'm sure I would like it now.
Oh, yeah. It's really good. It's really good. Dale beats Lance. Dale beats everyone with Dale face. Dale solos Lance. No. Let's see. And my final thought of the night. If Gabriel had his comic death, I think Rosita would have been with Mercer instead of Princess. That feels right. Princess.
I can see that.
Pointless except to back up Eugene. Yeah,
I don't think Princess is pointless, but I think probably Rosita would be a better fit for Mercer.
Yeah, and I agree with Matt. Like, I don't necessarily think Princess is pointless, but I totally get what you're saying, Jonas, and you're right. The Walking Dead just has a bad habit of introducing these new and interesting characters, and then you just don't see them for a while. Or, like, they come up and make a good first impression, and then they just become a background character that pops up from time to time when it's convenient to the plot. Which, I mean, I like Princess. I like the actress that plays
I like her, too. She's spunky.
I do miss the purple hair, though. Like, Princess needs the purple hair. Like, that's Princess's thing. So let's get that back in there.
I demand.
This is Fear's last season. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go back then and binge this past season to catch up with the new season. Let's see. Lance is kind of like Gus Fring if you think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Gus is a boss.
He is completely and utterly terrifying.
Let's see. I'm on season 3, episode 3 of The Sopranos right now. It's a good show. And yes, Appalachian American, you're right. That's the show, The Center. That's the one I'm talking about. Yep. Let's see. Bro, how did Sadiq get with Rosita? He seemed like a nice guy. Maybe she just likes nice guys. Don't forget, Spencer was also doing the hanky-panky with Rosita at one point. So if you wonder how Sadiq got with her, then you really need to back up and be like, how did Spencer?
Yeah. How the hell did that happen?
Let's see. You guys always say the governor is the most evil, but I just thought of a person who was more evil. Gareth. Oh, Gareth. I just went back and watched that scene where Rick and them, like, they shoot his fingers off. And then Rick's like, I told you. I made a promise. And then he proceeds to chop him up. You read my comment way wrong before. I was asking how cool it would be if Daryl and Maggie ran into a whisperer who was clearly wearing the governor's face, showing the whisperers had been to the prison. Oh, that would be.
That'd be pretty interesting.
The Maggie, I tell you, it would be dope too. Or like Michonne, because, Michonne just had it out for the governor. So for her to run into someone wearing the governor's face, man, that'd have just been wild.
That'd be trippy.
I hope Lance kills Walker Sebastian. Yep. And Honeybuster says, and we'll wrap up the night with this one. Bring back.
Ooh, we haven't done that in forever.
I'd be willing to bring it back. I just felt like we had kind of taken that about as far as we could go. I mean, it really wasn't, I don't think, much more at the time that people could ask. But once The Walking Dead ends, we'll definitely.
It might be, yeah.
Fill up some time there. So,
like, what if Elijah was truly a badass? That'd be a good what if question.
What if Elijah's mask had a point?
What if Pope was truly, even though in my heart he already was the ultimate true supervillain of the entire series. But like, what if he was the true arch nemesis of everybody and was the penultimate bad guy? But I feel we get a lot of what if questions
during these live
during these ones, yeah. So
what we could do if we brought back Walking Dead what ifs is during the live cast, every time we see a what if, we'll save it, and compile those into what if. What's popping up? My computer's being funny here. Let's see.
All right, I gotta call it pretty quick. Some of us gotta work in the morning.
Yep. Doing a real-time what-if convo sounds like really interesting, especially with the series finale. Yeah, I would much rather do those live. That actually would be better instead of collecting listener comments. So maybe we'll do those live. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Great episode, Matt. Do we rate the episodes? Do we do that on these?
I don't think we do that. It's more like the retro reviews that we do those. But I mean, overall, I enjoyed tonight's episode. Like, these last 3 have been pretty dang, pretty dang exciting to follow. Some parts seem silly, but otherwise solid.
Yeah, I thought it was a great episode. So yeah, I hope this momentum continues, and I'm interested to see if these variants better play a bigger role, man. It better not be like this one episode.
Just one time, yeah.
That's it. But yeah, we'll see you next Sunday as we cover episode 20. In the meantime, I'm Justin.
Matt Dubs.
And we're the Podcasting Dead. We'll see you soon.